So what's it doing now?
So right now it's doing the finishing pass. So we've roughed out the material, we've just taken off that paint layer, and then we are putting on the final brighting pass. You hit it at a different speed and frequency of light that you tune in, and it makes it bright white, and then we'll trace around the outside to kind of crisp up the edges.
This is On the Bench, produced by the Kootenay Outdoor Recreation Enterprise. I'm your host, Jamie Moy. Today we're touring Dub Manufacturing, the workshop of Colin Worobetz, located in the West Kootenays. Colin is a machinist and manufacturing engineer. He's also local famous for using digital fabrication to create the art and infrastructure for the annual Shambhala Music Festival.
Hi!
Hey!
Come on in.
Colin, thanks so much for having me tour the workshop today.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, come check it out. It's full of tools, toys, fun equipment, bleeding edge, some older stuff, but it's all good stuff.
How long have you been here?
I've been in this spot 2.5 years, but I've had a shop for like 12, probably closer to 14, somewhere in there. I lost count. When you stop counting, you're like, it's long enough.
Well, one thing I noticed is the lighting is amazing.
Yeah, you got to be able to see. And coming from sheds or shops with poor electricity, when you have the option to build your own, you go big. And so lighting, sound, flooring, I spent it all on this place, and I'm never leaving. That's the dream anyway.
Well, let's start where the material starts.
Okay, come on in. Hello and welcome to my connected shop. Material comes in here and goes into storage racks either here or on the side of the shop and gets cut down to size. So if it's sheet goods, I'll set up sawhorses and rip them to size to fit in whatever machine they're going to go in. And then they can go through a bandsaw, they can get plasma cut, they can get sandblasted if they need to be cleaned, and then they flow into the machines. So what's in front of you is kind of a central hub. If there's work in process, it happens on this middle bench. We've got computer-controlled lathes, drill presses, manual lathes. We've got a couple CNC mills, a whole host of collected tools from many garage sales.
What's on the bench?
I've got some old jigs and fixtures from making some knives. I was repurposing some old jigs, reduce, reuse, recycle. This plate's still pretty good, so I'll probably pull that off and hang the pretty part somewhere. We've got a tuning jig for skis.
Aha.
So this will mount on the back of my truck. And then I can put down a tarp, pull the wax off my split board, and then fold up the tarp and shovel it all into the garbage. This is a big stainless table. It's flat, 2/1000th of an inch per foot. It's actually for doing optics work.
Is this a full-time endeavor for you?
No, I am fully employed. I run a software support department for laser cutting software using that machine that we'll get to in a minute. But we also do CNC routers. So like this is my sphere, is like we write tools to write code that runs in these machines. And I was the right person for the job. So now I send emails, which doesn't sound as sexy as making cool parts. But I do that as well when I find the things that I want to make.
So why did you create this workshop?
I would go crazy. I need a shop. I need a place to go and tinker. I've had shops that were in second bedrooms, and it doesn't work well. And so having a space that I can separate out like automotive and motorcycle work, so that's in a different shed, with the fabrication and tinkering with robots and robotics, that it all stays here, and then it doesn't bleed into the other parts of my life where that's less desirable.
And it's also accessible for the community, right?
Yeah, the idea behind this was to be able to teach. I'd love to, there's a lot of people who homeschool around here. So I'd like to be able to run little classes, 2 to 4 pupils, and then I don't know, say 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, teach them the basics of CAD design, 3D printing, maybe do some laser cutting stuff. Getting to share that would be pretty neat.
What about other makers in the Kootenay region?
Yeah, I've done work with people who make gear, so they make bags. I do a lot of laser cutting fabrics for that type of work. A lot of signage, whether it's pop-up stands for doing sale at markets or that kind of marketing style of thing. And then transitioning as the shop is still coming online here, I'd like to see more people coming in with like a project, something in mind that they want to develop. Like this is a great space to kickstarter the hardware side of a project.
It's a prototype.
Exactly, it's a prototyping shop. So I don't want to make a million of anything. That sucks. I want to be interested, and so making up to like 100 parts is kind of my sweet spot. And then from there, I know people that I can hand those customers off to. Be like, hey, like this guy can make your 10,000 parts. And here are the jigs and the fixtures and the code and the design. Start with this, and then that's a whole nother step of the development process. But up to 100, we can do it here.
All right, show us some of these machines.
Okay, probably the most used is back over here. This is my 2x72 belt sander. It is ostensibly for knife making.
Okay.
But it is quick change belts, and it has a big honking motor. But if you wanted to sharpen knives, make a 2x4 disappear, do anything with metal, you want to just take sharp edges off things because these mitts, they're only so tough. This is the tool, and that's why it's right by the door. So if I'm taking a bar off the rack that's probably sharp and nasty, say, yeah, sharp and nasty, small. You can very gently, very safely clean it up. And then when it goes through the rest of the processes, I'm not cutting myself on my own parts.
Nice.
Which is nice. Another great tool for cleaning up parts is a big sandblaster. This is one of those tools I had in high school, and I thought one day I'm gonna have one. And I bought the exact one I had in high school at an auction, no less, for $400. I grew up going to a lot of garage sales, and I know a deal when I smell it. And this one popped up in Creston, and I had to have it. So went and bought it, and then the trailer fell off the truck, but it ended up here eventually. It was a whole ordeal. So sandblasting is lovely for cleaning up dirty things, especially stuff that's already been in the field and you want to repair. If it's got paint or other coatings, you need to clean it up if you're going to weld it, that sort of thing. That's great. This is a CNC lathe. It's an Ozawa 230X from Japan. It used to make bone screws for Johnson & Johnson in California. This is like behind one of the covers when I was cleaning it out.
Oh, wow.
So this will be a bone screw blank. Use a cutter to make a helical screw on here that would actually go into the bone. But then it made fishing reels for a company called Bell Reel Co. And then I imported it from California. And it scares the crap out of me. It is so fast and so scary. I don't actually really run it. If I had the need, I would. And I could. But it'll take like probably a weekend of figuring out to get it up and running again. Until then, it just hangs out. It also runs on 3-phase power. Which interestingly I don't have here. So that's why I ran 400 amps of power to the shop. So if I need to make 3-phase power, you can take lots of single phase to make a moderate amount of 3-phase power, which industrial machines need.
We'll talk about the way this place is powered.
Yeah, totally. So when I came here, this shop had 100 amps of power, which is, it's not enough,
No.
Not even by a long shot. So I knew that I was gonna have to add a lot of capacity. And that just takes a couple permits and a lot of money. So Fortis was kind enough to install an enormous transformer on the pole, and then we dug a trench all the way through my driveway, and we have in the corner 200 amp panels.
Okay.
And so those panels were then run, and there are 240 volt and 110 circuits down every wall, downstairs and upstairs. So there's 3 50 amp circuits for 240 volt power on each wall. So if I ever want to run a big machine anywhere,
Yeah.
I can do that. The idea was to overbuild, like the cost of putting extra conductor in the wall is minimal. So we just added lots of copper.
Yeah, that's good foresight too, because you can have it structured any way you want it.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's flexible, and that's, the whole shop is flexible. Everything's on wheels. So if I need a lot of space to do something, like say it's the middle of February and it's -20 outside and I really need to do something on my truck, everything gets pushed to the side.
Everything is on wheels.
Everything's on wheels or pallet jack.
Okay.
Yeah, pallet jack was another one of those key investments where you're like, I made it. I can move huge things now.
Tell me about this guy.
This is a Holbrook Miner.
Wow.
This is a big English lathe, and by big I mean tiny. It weighs about 4,000 pounds. And bigger is, in fact, better when it comes to machine tools, especially with weight. The more weight you have, the less things want to deflect when you apply force. So say I'm trying to cut something, and your whole machine does this, it's not very accurate. This is great for putting threads on things, cleaning up bar stock, doing any manner of lathe operation. So this turns the work, and we feed tools into it, and we can quickly change different tools in and out, depending on what we're doing.
Show us this one.
This is a Tormach 1100. We can go and it'll do tool changes. So I can program a job. My time is best spent programming these things, not actually running them. So this machine can hold 12 tools. It can go and do everything it wants to do with one tool, put it away, grab a different tool that has different cutting geometries, does different things. And then I can come back when it's all done and just swap the parts out, rather than being here loading tools in and out of the machine. It's a really, really nice thing to have. What I don't have is an enclosure, so it makes an enormous mess. But the machine beside us does, so why don't we look at that? This is a Langmuir MR1, which is a CNC router more than it is a mill.
I gotta get in here.
Yeah, get in there.
Let me get in here.
Yeah. It's a router more than it is a mill. So it's got a high torque spindle, and it can cut like steel, titanium to a degree, aluminum, happily, brass, that sort of thing. And it has a full enclosure. So if I wanted to run flood coolant, I can do that, and coolant makes your tools last longer. So it's a nice thing to have.
I know this question is like asking if people have a favorite kid, but do you have a favorite machine currently in the shop?
You're leaning on it. This is my laser. This is my big CO2 laser. It's been referred to as a howitzer. It will cut like an inch of oak. It can do anything non-ferrous, basically, or non-metallic. Nailed it!
Can we also talk about kind of your system of organization here?
Yeah. Most people come in and they're like, wow, there's so much stuff and it all has labels. It doesn't, but a lot of stuff does. If I can't find it, it's essentially useless. So if you can't find it, you don't own it. These are Sortimo bins. They're German. They're quite lovely. There's pack out. There's other options, but I find these are great. In fact, I just invested in 8 more. This one is special. Yeah, this one's special. It's 2 layers, so I can have bonus storage in here.
Nice. And then these here keep everything kind of...
Yeah, so these actually interface with the bins themselves. So once it's shut, nothing can shake around. You don't have any mixing.
Should we head upstairs?
Yeah, let's keep going.
All right.
Come on up.
This beautiful space up here. So CNC up here.
It's all CNC. Yeah, we've got a 4x4 CNC router, so 4 feet by 4 feet. We've got a littler one. This one's 16 by 16. Dust extraction infrastructure, lighting. This is that 3D printer I mentioned.
Very cool.
Yeah, it moves really fast. I have another one downstairs that's currently printing. This one only prints in engineering filaments, like carbon fiber reinforced stuff, so it's kind of hard to get started. All those materials need to be dry. Otherwise they bubble when you print them. And that just takes time. It takes prep. It takes like 12 hours just to get ready to print on that machine. But it'll print in nylon and like really tough stuff that like borders aluminum in strength.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've got a variety of lasers. Here's another. This is just like the machine we have downstairs, except smaller. It's a little tiny CNC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this one I've brought to Shambhala, and it's nice to have on site, and it's portable, 2-man lift sort of thing. And if you're doing signage or just little stuff, it works great. Then we have 2 different types of lasers. So rather than move a head around, like that one, these move 2 little mirrors in this head, called the galvanometer head, the scan head. And then they fire a laser beam out, and you get a square working area. And this one will sink directly into metal. So that is sunk into brass and then filled with paint. It's great for like dog tags, etching directly into knives or that sort of thing. This is a new one. It's a UV laser, so it's same sort of thing that gives you a sunburn. It can affect a lot of metals. Like it's very broad in what it works with. It'll do woods, plastics, metals, that sort of thing.
So do you do the Shambhala work in this space?
Not all of it.
Okay.
So stuff that's bigger than, this table is 4x8, and I can't bring 4x8 sheets up that staircase. I did, but it's not fun. So anything that's bigger than 4x4, I will do on site at Shambhala. So we have a 4x8 CNC router there, and a little like work bay, and we build all of the stage design and signage and artwork on site.
About how long do you devote?
I spend 3.5 weeks, depends on what we're doing. Like if we're doing a whole new stage build, it'll be like 5 or 6 weeks. If it's just maintenance and upkeep, because everything lives there permanently, and weather just makes the whole farm melt into the ground. So there's a lot of stuff that I just have to cut again, which is a luxury, because I have all those files from working there for 10 years.
Yep.
You just go and play.
And that right there, that's a prototype from a piece that's currently there right now.
That's right, yeah. So the cardboard wishing tree there, that was one of the first things I made on the old CNC machine at Shambhala. And like, this is my favorite way for people to tell me what they want, is a sketch. You know, picture is worth 1,000 words, a sketch is worth 5. Show me what you like, and I took that, I digitized it and cut it out, and it's still in use today. This is a really cool table. I didn't even think about this. This is actually a hospital bed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah, when I bend down like this, I can see it.
see it. So because it's a hospital bed, there's 2 things that are going to be in my way here, but I can. Where are the levers? It's like the world's biggest standing desk.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So if I'm working on something that's tall, I drop it down. If I want to lift up something heavy off of any of my benches and bring it up to working height, I can dolly it over. Yeah. Another auction find. Why don't I give you a demo on the alt mill? This is a 3-axis machine. They're Cartesian machines. So we have a X, we have a Y, and a Z.
Okay.
And then I have a variety of different tools that I can put in the machine. Like this one. I'm just gonna do a little bit of setup, and we'll start the job. It'll come and touch off tool height, and then it will go to the material and start cutting it out, and hopefully it all goes well.
All right, what are we cutting?
We're cutting this wood.
But what are we cutting into it?
We're cutting a little flowery design here.
What's this for?
This is for a flower press. So my mom likes to press flowers, and it was her Christmas gift this year. Okie dokie. So I've set my work origins. Let's go do the thing. Got a nice little floral pattern in there now.
So this is Mom's Christmas present?
Yeah. I know it's only 3 days to Christmas. I'm acutely aware, in fact.
You worked in mountain biking
Yeah, I worked
component manufacturing, right?
Yeah, I worked for Race Face, so I was a manufacturing engineer there. And what that entailed was I ran teams of people that ran carbon fiber presses. So we made crank arms for bikes.
Okay.
And so not only did we go from 1 press to 3 and like more than tripled our production capacity, but I also did a lot of the testing. So that's like taking handlebars, putting them in a test jig, and then doing 100,000 cycles of like a Volkswagen Beetle just sitting on the bars. And then seeing how stuff fails and learning about composite.
Thank you so much for spending so much time with me. This is even more incredible than I was imagining.
Yeah, thanks for coming. It's fun to show people.
I feel like we only kind of scratched the surface.
A little bit.
And I can't wait to see what you come up with next and the expansion.
Yeah, it's coming.
Thank you.
Bigger.